All right, thanks for sticking around, everybody. We are back with the other semifinal matchup for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Remote Duel Invitational. We've had a lot of exciting duels so far, and things are starting to wind down with only one more semifinal match left before our finals.
Alejandro is going to pair off against Adrian in this other top 4 match, where only one duelist can win and advance to the finals to take home that beautiful trophy.
Take a minute, this is what's all on the line right here. This awesome trophy, only one player will be able to walk away with it. I can't wait to see who it is. Hopefully to see some more awesome Blue Eyes actions while Oscar is waiting in the finals for the winner of this matchup between Adrian and Alejandro. Now, the player Alejandro is... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, the other player to watch is that I mentioned at the beginning of the tournament, Rafael, who is a 2-time Duel Links World Championship competitor, has now been eliminated. But Alejandro Garcia Moreno still remains as a well-known Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game duelist, dueling it out in the top 4 for a shot at the finals. So we'll see if his TCG experience and skills in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game are going to carry over well enough for him to take home this.
Yeah, so far got in the top 4, but here it is. The second semifinal match is underway. Game 1. We have Adrian, who's going to be using Dark Magician, versus Alejandro, who is running the Invoked Neos deck that we've seen so much of here today. Both these decks have been pretty popular. Dark Magician, when they've drawn well, have the circle, have the navigation in the setup, and Heat Wave especially, we've seen them have the most success. So Heat Wave combined with Dark Magical Circle going first is huge for Adrian. This is the ideal opening, except that he didn't net a card with the Dark Magical Circle. Mike, that's huge.
That's incredible. He missed with the Dark Magical Circle, but that just means that he's in trouble if he doesn't already have Dark Magician and Magician's Navigation. And with one card in his hand and one card on the field, he could have both of them and make this a very quick victory. Cosmic Cyclone.
That's going to force out the navigation if he has it. Nope, just going to go straight for the circle.
Interesting choice. Because he targeted the circle, there was no reason to activate the navigation, even if he has it. So we'll see how the rest of the turn progresses. I would probably hit the face down card, because if it is in fact Magician's Navigation, I would think you would want to get that removed from the duel, so it can't be used to negate a spell or trap card with a Dark Magician on the field, instead of it remaining in the graveyard. But we'll see how this plays out.
Certainly sound reasoning, but we'll have to see what they decide to do. It looks like Alejandro cannot normal summon or special summon, but he can still set a monster face down, and will do so. Maybe set an Alistair, so if it gets attacked, he'll get flip face up, and he'll be able to still search for an Invocation. So it could also just be a Volcanic Shell. There's a lot of different things it could be. But a normal summon from the Magician's Rod, that's huge.
Yeah, and that's going to make it a lot more like...
Another Dark Magical Circle here. Dark Magical Circle effect activated to look at the top 3. He missed last turn, but this time he didn't. He's going to be able to grab that navigation. And flip the face down navigation.
It's over already. He's going to summon Dark Magician from his hand. Another spellcast from the deck. Banish the face down card.
Wow, just Heat Wave, Circle, and the navigation, and Adrian's going to be able to take a quick game 1 here with Dark Magician. Heat Wave is such a powerful card if you're able to open up with before your opponent has an established board, or even earlier in the tournament we saw they had an established board, and just preventing that follow-up was devastating. But with the banish from the circle and the attacks from the Dark Magician, Adrian takes game 1 of the second semifinal very quickly.
That was an incredible win. That was an amazing draw as well, especially since Heat Wave is a one-of card that you can only get 1 copy of by leveling up Witchcrafter, so you only get 1 in your collection. And because it's really only useful if you also open up with the combo to summon Dark Magician right away, where it looks like he did. And if he didn't, he got it off of his top deck for his second turn of the duel.
Yeah, right. You're going to have Heat Wave maybe like 20% of the time, but you have the Heat Wave on top of the other cards. Even though he missed with that Magical Circle, the other cards he had on top of the Heat Wave were Navigation and Dark Magician. Like, that's if I'm going to miss on Circle, those are the other 2 cards I want to have, probably.
Yeah, that was definitely an incredibly strong opening. I don't think Alejandro could have done anything against that.
Yeah, no, the Heat Wave is like you said, essentially it's restricted to one because you only have access to one in the game. There's certain cards, that's something I've always liked about Duel Links since the beginning, is you don't always have to have cards on a Forbidden Limited list, because if they're released through like a character, there's only one available copy, so essentially they're limited to one.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature for the game.
Yep, so do you think we're gonna, like, I can't imagine either player switching their decks here after that game. Like, it wasn't really like any reason why the deck did bad, it was just unfortunate that he got Heat Waved. Does he even know his opponent was using?
Oh, he saw
the Alistair.
He saw the monster deck up.
Yeah, I think it was Alistair.
I think Invoke decks are pretty good generally against Dark Magician. You summon the Invoked Coitus, the water fusion monster. Dark Magician does struggle against it. If you make a big enough Purgatrio, you can just attack through everything. Typically, Dark Magician and Duelists do have multiple monsters on the field because Magician's navigation summons them 2 at a time. So I wouldn't be surprised if both players do keep the deck that they've been using. And, you know, if you're Adrian here and you just drew as hot as you did, you want to press your luck there and see if you can do it again.
See, I would agree with you there, but yeah, it does look like they have proven us wrong yet again. And Adrian is going to be switching his deck after that decisive victory. Maybe they feel like each deck has a certain amount of luck, and after they have a good game with that good deck, they're like, okay, time to move on to the next deck and see if I can draw just as good with this one. But Adrian's switching to Blackwings, which we have earlier in the day saw be very dominant, but it's been a few rounds since we've seen it in action. But I expect them to do pretty well here, and they are going to be going against Alejandro's, who looks like Witchcrafters, with a 30-card Witchcrafter deck with some tech cards on top of that one copy of That Grass Looks Greener, one of my favorite cards of all time. I'm a huge fan. I hope to see that some grass action.
When That Grass Looks Greener gets activated early on in the Witchcrafter deck, it's usually over. They have so many incredible graveyard effects between Jenny, Shmieta, Pitor, all of the Witchcrafter spell cards. If it's activated, it's almost over. So I generally root against that card coming into play, but we'll see what happens here. See if you can maybe steal a victory with it.
Yeah, it was very, and the TCG was the exact same. I used to use it years ago, the Infernoids, and I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! For the entire time, 15 years, you know, however long, like since I was a child. But there's not many times they come out with one card that you just activate, and it's just like so much value from one card, like your opponent just can't recover. And That Grass Looks Greener in the TCG and in Duel Links is just one of those powerful cards. And I don't know, I get excited for powerful cards when they get drawn. There's something about it just, you know, makes me so happy. But the matchup is ready. Okay, go ahead.
They recently changed the Draw Sense spell skill so that you have to play different spells in your deck, so you can't just use it to always draw That Grass Looks Greener.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing they made that change.
Yeah, that's how powerful it was. That's what Duelists were doing.
Alright, we get to see this awesome Kaelin and Infernity Doom Dragon playmat. But you get to see one of the tech cards immediately being sent to the graveyard off the Charge of Light Brigade, offerings to the Doomed. And since Minerva was milled, she gets to mill an additional card.
Witchcrafter Collaboration is not a bad hit with Minerva's effect. He'll banish Pitor from the graveyard to draw a card, and then send a Witchcrafter from his hand to his graveyard.
So definitely a good start here for Alejandro.
Madame Vare to the graveyard might be a tell that he has Holiday in his hand, or a way to get it.
Yeah, I think if we see the Madame Vare in the graveyard, we're definitely going to end up at the end of this turn seeing the Madame Vare on the field. Show of Nightmares, going to add a random spell back to his hand from the grave. You usually want to get Charged with Light Brigade, but, you know, Witchcrafter spell's not too bad.
Collaboration is less than ideal there, but he could probably discard it with an effect of a Witchcrafter, in this case Jenny, to summon another Madame Vare from his deck. And then, of course, he can always get back that Collaboration in the end phase, since he discarded it but did not activate it.
Exactly. And let's see where he decides to go. Yep, gonna use the monster effect to summon Madame Vare.
Good play there. He goes
Holiday.
for the Shmieta. Yeah, he goes for the Shmieta instead of the Madame Vare, so that he can use Shmieta's effect to discard Holiday.
He's filling his graveyard all the way up.
Yeah, and I guess the other Madame Verre's in his hand because... Oh no, he's going to tribute it now to special summon the Madame Verre from his graveyard with Adel's effect. Adel has two effects. One special summons from hand, one from the grave. He's going to special summon from the grave. But now he can also use the Shmietta's effect in the graveyard, because I don't believe he's used one this turn yet. And he can send the third and final Witchcrafter spell from his deck to his graveyard, Witchcrafter Unveiling, allowing him to bring back all 3 Witchcrafter spells from his graveyard to his hand in the end phase, having not activated any of them.
Yeah, definitely an ideal opening here for Alejandro. And we were talking off stream about the Blackwing Witchcrafter matchup, and what you basically said was that Witchcrafters going first, if they're able to set up the Madame Verre against Blackwings, it can be really tough for the Blackwing players to fight out of it. Because they don't have those trap cards that can destroy the Madame Verre, like Regeki Break or Karma Cut, for the most part.
Right. So at this point, I think Alejandro is the favorite to win the duel. He can just save his Madame Verre's effect for Adrian's Raikiri, which would threaten to destroy it. And there's not that many other answers. The one thing that could throw things off is a Blackbird Close, which is a crap card that can get rid of Madame.
Yep, so that's a way to turn to be able to do that, but he's able to set up that close, deal with the Madame Verre, and then put enough damage to finish off his opponent. Maybe Adrian can turn this game around after such a strong opening from Alejandro.
Well, that was certainly a weak start, but his attack position Blackwings might indicate that he in fact does have the Blackbird Close face down.
Yeah, he's at least trying to represent something, so we'll see where this goes. Got a normal summon of Lila trying to destroy the close.
For those who don't know, Blackbird Close can be activated from the hand, but only if you control a Synchro. Blackwing Synchro.
Yeah, so he has 2 Blackwings out there to try and... That way he has always has a Blackwing face on the field, so he'll be able to activate the close in the first place. The Lila misses and hits a Cosmic Cyclone. Holiday's going to be able to summon a Witchcrafter from his graveyard to the field.
Goes for Witchcrafter Adel.
Using Adel's effect.
Adel can special summon any spellcaster, so he's taking the level 3 Minerva and now has access to Arcanite Magician.
Ooh, he's just trying to... He knows that the only trap that can really deal with his Madame is that close, so trying to destroy all his opponent's cards, and then the Madame Verre will be safe for the remainder of the duel.
If in fact the face down card is Blackbird Close, the Arcanite Magician will threaten it, and Adrian will be forced to activate that Blackbird Close. So we'll see.
Yeah, he just go. You go to Michael or Arcanite. They're both good. Ooh, Fortune Lady Every.
That's a good choice as well.
He's just not worried about the Blackbird Close at all, and just trying to finish this game off to even up the series as fast as possible.
He activates Jenny's effect, banishing the Holiday to copy it, and that lets him special summon Adel back from the graveyard.
Yep, here comes Adel. I kind of like this. Yeah, just ignore the back row. It doesn't matter. If he doesn't have any Blackwing monsters, the Blackbird Close won't even make a difference.
You're right. At this point, even Raikiri wouldn't be particularly powerful because he's not going to have the swarm of Blackwings to use its effect effectively.
Right.
Oh, Madame Verre's effect is going to activate, and he does have the Blackbird Close.
I don't know why he would do that here. Why risk the one chance? Why not attack over both the monsters, and then he has no Blackwing, and he doesn't have to Verre? And now, maybe. Oh no.
So I think that Alejandro anticipated this. I think he decided he would rather have the Fortune Lady Every on the field.
Than the Madame Verre?
I guess, Madame Verre, I guess, was the sacrifice. So instead of making Arcanite Magician or Michael and forcing out the Blackbird Close, he made Every and allowed himself to lose the Madame Verre. He used Madame Verre on his own turn because he can increase Every's attack points since it's a spellcaster. Madame Verre does not only work on itself. And I think that puts him at the advantage. I think that gives him an advantage. I actually like, upon seeing the line of play to completion, I actually really like this line of play.
Yeah, instead of, you're right, he puts the big monster on the board. He knows that the close is going to deal with the Madame, so he just makes sure he has a way to summon another Madame after he forces out the close, which is very smart, showing why Alejandro did make top 4 here. Heads up play here from him.
And also another thing I didn't anticipate, he was able to bring back Madame Bear again, so a different Madame Bear using Adel's effect. So that was just brilliantly played by Alejandro. I am convinced that his Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game skills have completely transferred into Duel Links.
Oh yeah, certainly. And the thing about Witchcrafters is, like, the skill level is pretty high. In order to use them optimally, like, we were talking about the plays you could do, but that wasn't the optimal play. He was able to find that optimal play after a strong, solid opening and defeat his opponent through the one trap that he could possibly have to turn the tide in his favor. Really heads up play from Alejandro, really impressive. I'm not surprised to see him here in top 4.
Absolutely. I was thinking too small. I was thinking make Arcanine Magician bait out the Blackbird close. He was thinking Madame Bear is the bait.
Yep. As long as you can just summon another one afterwards. You go through the checks like when you're, it's like a duelist check like when you're in turn. Do I have a way to put game on board through the back row? If not, how can I clear the board and have the biggest disruption during their turn, you know? Alejandro just showing he's a 2-time TCG World Champion participant, and that those skills from the TCG do translate over to Duel Links, but definitely not without a little bit of practice, I would assume.
Yeah, that was brilliantly played, and I expect to see more brilliantly played duels from him in the rest of this match. Unfortunately, in the first duel, he just didn't have much to play with.
Right, and it does look like Adrian is going to fall back on his Dark Magician deck that he won with Game 1. So we're seeing the same thing we saw in the last semifinal match, where, like, the players win a game, and then they switch decks, but after they lose with that deck they switch, they're going to fall back to that comfort pick that they already know defeated the person they're playing against, which I'm not surprised by in the least. So I would, going with that mentality, I would assume that Alejandro is going to stick with the Witchcrafter deck, especially when it just worked so well for him. And he didn't need grass, he was still able to fill up his graveyard, add all the Witchcrafter spells, set up the Bear, everything was perfect. We'll have to see how it goes. Assuming that he does stick with the Witchcrafters, how does Dark Magician face up against Witchcrafters?
I think that Witchcrafters are probably the favorite because of how easily they can get big monsters on the field, but there are cards. Dark Magical Circle can get rid of Madame Bear. I would definitely give it to Witchcrafters, especially when you have cards like Lila that can threaten back rows that are so important to the Dark Magician. But we'll see.
Certainly. Let's talk about Alejandro G for a second, a card game legend. He does have 2 World Championship appearances for the TCG, top 16 in Mexico Nationals, 6 years straight. Wow. First top cut at YCS 2012 in Guadalajara. Wow, that's a throwback. He's been around for quite some time, having success throughout all the years, and now he's even bringing his TCG success over here into Duel Links. No surprise.
He's very well known. I may even go as far as to say he is the most well-known duelist in all of Latin America.
Yeah, he's definitely up there for sure. But it does look like Alejandro did switch to Blackwing. So he switched to the deck that he just beat. His opponent switching to Dark Magician. This matchup is a little bit different. I feel like it's favored for the Dark Magician player if they get to go first. But with the Blackwings being able to set up, if he's able to have that Blackbird close, maybe stop a Magician's Rod, it could be over pretty easily.
And it certainly doesn't look like Dark Magicians with Peak Performance as the skill and Kaiba as the character.
Oh, it looks like, maybe the deck. Sometimes we get the deck list from the first round of this semifinal, so it does look like it is a Blackwing mirror match. Good observation there, Mike. So,
we'll see what happens. Mirror match. Alejandro gets a really good start here, but unfortunately for him, he's forced to go first.
Yeah, so he's going to set up as much monsters as he can, but his opponent will always have that opportunity to break the board and attack for game. Blackwings really love to summon a ton of monsters and don't have too much defense outside of that close, but he has main decking copies of Cosmic Cyclone, so maybe that'll come into play if he's able to draw one. Because he'll be able to normal summon his Zephyros, so he's going to get 2 more searches for the Whirlwinds. He'll be able to have a Cosmic set with a Blackbird close in hand, And we'll have to see that if that's enough defense, if he has all those cards. Do you think we're seeing Ancient Fairy Dragon?
Monsters he developed.
I feel like one of them has to be Ancient Fairy Dragon.
He could make Ancient Fairy Dragon. Necro Valley is not particularly powerful, but he might.
I mean, you're trying to survive. I was more so thinking of the 3,000 defense. I mean, I know that it could just get destroyed easily, but getting that extra 1,000 life points, maybe you'll be able to stave off an attack from your opponent. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what the best board is he can make.
Yeah, if Alejandro does in fact have a Blackbird close, he's definitely going to want to have a Blackwing Synchro monster.
Yeah, certainly.
So that might also give a bit of a tell to Adrian about what's happening next. Goes for Raikiri, which can destroy Mountain. Maybe he'll destroy it.
Yeah, you see, he destroys opponent's mountain, and then he can still make Ancient Fairy here next to the Raikiri and destroy his own mountain, so now his opponent won't get the benefit of having that extra attack to search for the smaller monsters with Black Whirlwind.
Absolutely, I like that play a lot. As soon as I saw Raikiri, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And Synchro Summon, see if it is going to be... Last time I thought it was Ancient Fairy, it was Ancient Pixie, but... Oh, he's going to go for Obsidian Hawk Joe. Just going to make the biggest board he can make turn one. Oh, he's using a Zephyros, the Whirlwind, that's going to... back to his hand that would inflict 1,000 to him, or is he going to? Yeah, he's going to bounce the mountain, so he's going to still try and take away that extra attack and summon Zephyros on the field in defense mode.
This play actually is even better because Obsidian Hawk Joe can also protect Raikiri by redirecting attacks and effects that would otherwise threaten Raikiri to hit Obsidian Hawk Joe. And if he can keep Raikiri on his field and successfully activate its effect on the next turn, he'll just clear the way for his victory.
Yeah, maybe that redirect effect for attacks and cards at target could prove enough. So he did have that Cosmic set. He was able to banish the Cosmic with the Cosmic, activate Black Whirlwind, activate another Black Whirlwind. Oh, this is perfect.
Oh man, 3 Black Whirlwinds.
3 Whirlwinds. And if there's no close, yeah, and he's going to normal summon and search 3 times.
Wow, and he still gets another normal summon to search 3 more times because Simoon's effect makes that an additional normal summon.
Yeah, where's this Blackwing action been at all these rounds? This is what I've been waiting to see all day. Triple Whirlwind coming down, 3 searches. What's the third one going to be? We got Gale, and Orochi. Special summon Gale, special summon Orochi. Gale's effects can activate first. Have the attack. Let's see what line Adrian decides to take here to try and knock Alejandro out. He only has 2,600 life points remaining since he took 1,000 for the Whirlwind that he brought out with Simoon and the 400 from the Zephyros, the Elite, when it bounced the mountain back to his hand.
Adrian does need to get rid of both Raikiri and Joe, because Joe can also special summon Raikiri. So he really needs to clear this field.
Let's see how he decides to navigate. Synchro summon for a 7, his own Raikiri. And then he can special summon the Gale from his hand. Yep, Raikiri coming down. Oh, Roshi's effect is going to activate to put the Zephyros into attack mode. Special summon Gale. He's going to try and target... Can you redirect if there's multiple targets? There's only when one card is targeted. Yeah, it's only when one card is targeted. Since there's multiple targets, he's not able to redirect it. Gale's going to have that, and this is going to be enough if Alejandro doesn't have anything in his hand to stop. Yep, and he only has 2,600 to start with. And Adrian showing in the Blackwing mirror match, it's better to go second with 3 Whirlwinds than not.
That's a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, going into the tournament, this is what I expected. I expected more matches like this one to play out, where both players are playing Blackwings. It's just a lot of summoning. What can you do about my board? Attack! It's pretty interesting. Honestly, I kept going back to that Ancient Fairy Dragon play. While it may not be the best play, like the other Hawk Joe couldn't really do anything. You're able to play around it because you just don't target one card at a time. And then the Ancient Fairy Dragon just gives you more life points, because you need life points to get to your next turn. And if you don't get to your next turn, you can't win the duel. But I think even with that line, he would probably end up losing that game, because triple whirlwind, like, what are you gonna do about that if you don't have anything to stop that initial summon of the Simoon?
Right. Yeah, triple whirlwind with the additional normal summon, it's too much to fight from. A single activation of Raikiri's effect is just too powerful when the duelist going second is able to pull it off. So I think both duelists did everything they could, and the cards sort of fell where they did.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Blackwing mirror match. They both want to go second. Do you think either player's going to switch, or are they going to be like, okay, you got this one because you went second. Now my turn. I'm going to take the risk, flip the coin. I'll go second this time. It's my turn to win. Or do you think Alejandro is going to not rely on that deck to go first? Like, maybe switch to something he feels is more viable going first and second?
It's hard to dispute how powerful the Blackwing deck is, especially after that duel. So I feel like it's hard to change decks, but there are so many powerful decks in Duel Links that it wouldn't surprise me if they change it up, even if only to throw their opponent off and make it a little less predictable about what they're going to do with their card.
Yeah, I think that's really been a theme in this Duel Links Invitational so far. A lot of players, when they win, they are interested in throwing their opponents off. There's been a lot of changes with the victories, and then when you lose, they kind of default back on maybe the deck they wanted previously. But I don't know what's going to happen. There could... Well, let me look at these previous deck lists. Alejandro, I would assume, is going to stick with Blackwings. He could go back to the Witchcrafter. The Witchcrafter deck was really good for him. So if he just wants to, change things up, keep his opponent on his toes, I would imagine him just to default back to that Witchcrafter as opposed to try something new. But we'll have to wait and see. It does look like maybe Adrian will be using the Dark Magician deck this game that we thought he was going to be using last game, that we saw in the first game with his best of 5. But we'll wait and see. I hope to see Dark Magician again. When it goes first and just has that circle, it's like maybe one of the only ways to stop Blackwings is being able to banish the Ryuki once it comes out. But we did see earlier they didn't wait for the Synchro and they just banished the Whirlwind. So it's completely devastating and they weren't able to do anything. But we'll have to wait and see.
Raikiri is the key card to hit.
For sure. It does everything. And it does look like, Alejandro's going to switch to Shiranui. So we have Shiranui versus Dark Magician, a completely new matchup we haven't seen here in the second semifinal of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Remote Duel Invitational. If Adrian wins this game, he will be on to the finals, and there will only be one round left of this tournament. Will Dark Magicians be able to do it?
It's time to duel.
It is. It's time to duel. Alright, so it looks like Alejandro is going first with just a set monster in his Shiranui deck. That is not what you want to do turn 1.
Not at all. He didn't open up with the Squire he would have hoped for.
Not a lot of trap cards either.
Yeah, but if he has Ballista Squad with something like a face-down Spectral Sword and just cut off the Dark Magical Circle, it might actually be fine.
Yeah, true. Magician's Rod coming down, so already a good card to see for Adrian. He's going to be able to search his deck for any Dark Magician card and add it to his hand. Probably Dark Magical Circle. Yep. Dark Magical Circle coming down. We've seen, surprisingly, more. I would assume this card would never miss in Duel Links because the decks are so small. But as you're saying, he probably does have that Ballista Squad face down to disrupt the Magical Circle, which is the key to victory, as you were saying.
I think he's still going to be in trouble if Adrian, in fact, has Magician's Navigation and a Dark Magician in his hand, but this will definitely buy him, could buy him some more time, since Dark Magical Circle will no longer be able to add a card from the top of the deck to Adrian's hand, so we'll see.
Oh no, 3 face-down backers before the direct attack. If that is a Dark Magician in his hand and he has Magician Navigation set, it's solid, but without that circle face-up, he's not going to be able to banish a card during his opponent's turn. Alejandro draws to 3 cards in hand. He had to use 2 already, but the Spectral will be able to fuse from the graveyard. Sorry, Synchro from the graveyard. Alright, so Goki coming down, going to respond with an Illusion Magic.
I think that's probably telegraphing the Magician's Navigation on his field, which he wants to be able to activate. I'm probably a little bit surprised I'm a little bit surprised he didn't activate Illusion Magic before the summon to make sure that the Magician's navigation didn't get hit by something like Cosmic Cyclone or
interesting.
Galaxy Cyclone.
Yeah, interesting that he decided not to just flip up navigation and banish the Gozuki. I guess he's just gonna wait and banish the Synchro monster that he decides to make.
Well, he can't banish anything. He doesn't have Dark Magical Circle.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always assume they just have it face him on the field. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. So navigation not really being able to do anything but summon monsters to the field.
But if he could get Dark Magician and Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer from his deck, that's going to be a different
Ooh. Oh yeah, we haven't seen that come into play too much. But yeah, summoning that Kaiku Ghost Destroyer from the deck could be huge, a la Spellbook of Judgment. Very similar to the way Spellbooks used to play.
I do assume that Adrian is using Kaiku, we see now.
Yep. And devastating. Alejandro just has to pass. He has no play. This could be it. Adrian could be moving on to the finals with Dark Magician. Dark Magical Circle. That's huge.
I think this is over. Once Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer is on the field, if the Shiranui duelists can't get rid of it, they basically can't do anything. It's hard enough to destroy in battle, but all of the Shiranui duelists' effects are graveyard-based, and without being able to banish cards from the graveyard, there's nothing.
And that's it. Adrian's moving up. We have our finals. Adrian versus Oscar. Alejandro and Rafael were our two duels to watch out for. They both made it to top 4, but unfortunately lost their respective matches. But we do have our finals ready. Big congratulations to Adrian, who will face Oscar, who's waiting for him. What a great match.
An impressive accomplishment. An impressive accomplishment for both duelists, defeating 2 titans in the dueling world to make it to the finals and play off for that trophy.
Yeah, a lot of people always ask me, like, how do you not get nervous when you're playing someone good or anything? Like, you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you play Duel Links, you play these games all the time. Just focus on the game in front of you and the knowledge that you already have and not worry about who's holding the cards exactly behind them. And then if you just play your game to the best of your skill, maybe you'll get that W.
I like that, Billy. I think you're 100% correct and agree completely.
Yeah, I mean, it's the mentality that I've used throughout, my whole dueling career, and I hope others can, use that same mentality. It's been a great day so far. We've had a lot of interesting duels. 16 players we started with, but now we're down to the final 2. Oscar, Adrian. Stick around. We'll be right back for our finals of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Remote Duel Invitational. Don't go anywhere.